See, one thing you should understand that whenever you are starting your Power BI project, okay, so you need to think about two flavors, okay. So one on Power BI environment, okay. So when you talk about a project, one on Power BI environment, another on Fabric environment, because your Power BI is no more as an independent tool; it is on the Fabric now, fine. So you should be able to implement this same project on Fabric also, fine. So in this class, basically, whatever I teach you in Power BI, I will also teach you on Fabric, because already you completed. Some students has completed almost all Fabric concepts. Some students they know what is Lakehouse also. Fine. So see, first of all, whenever you get into a Power BI projects, let us recap the things because there is a lot of gap in the previous classes. Okay. First of all, try to understand your client. Okay, who is your, so what is the name of the project? It's a Gojek. Okay, what you call taxi project basically. Try to understand the client. So go to the requirements. So this is a project, documentation requirements. Okay, so try to understand the requirement. What is the requirement of the particular client? What dashboards they need? What data sets they need? Basically, what is the requirement and all. Okay, so these are the different KPIs as measures, for this domain, basically logistics domains. Okay, Gojek. Try to understand what is the name of what is the business entity of that company. For example, Gojek means it's a Gojek taxi. Gojek. Okay, Gojek Taxi Singapore. It is a logistics company. It's a Singapore-based company, basically, which is providing some what you call the transportation services like Ola and all. Okay, so basically, this is about your what you call. Try to understand what is the domain it belongs to. It is a logistics domain, basically. Fine. Suppose if you are from logistics domain, then easily you can assimilate these things to your real-time projects and you can create your CV. Fine. That is the whole idea here. Suppose if you are from healthcare domain, we will take one healthcare project and we'll start doing the things. Okay, fine. If you are from operations or sales domain, we'll get into that projects and start doing the things. Okay, fine. The whole idea is this actually. Fine. So try to understand this company nature of business, what they are into, all these things. Okay, then get into their business requirements. Every what you call project will be having their own business requirements. So generally, see why you use Power BI. Power BI is an analytical tool, right? It's an analytical engine, basically, right? So using your Power BI, you can provide certain analytical solutions. That is, you can create your reports and dashboards. That is the ultimate objective of your Power BI, right? Okay. So every company they needs interactive real-time dashboards or static dashboards or real-time dashboards or reports. So obviously they start giving different requirements. I need the dashboard like this, or I need dashboard like this. Basically, like I need these are the different KPIs need to be visualized. Okay. So if you have the domain knowledge, you can easily understand these KPIs like total bookings, okay, total booking value. It is very easy to understand, not that much difficult. Okay. So total trip distance, how much trip distance has been covered by a particular taxi, average trip distance. Okay. So these are all domain specific knowledge what they you are prerequisite to be understood actually. If you don't know this, don't worry. You can Google the things, you can have some domain knowledge and you can get back to the classes. That is not at all a problem. It's very easy actually. Now, so once you understand the requirement, okay, so what charts they are needed, for example, they need these charts, okay. What charts they are needed, okay. So basically, completely, how they need the visualizations, okay. What, tables need to be created, okay. So what data you need to be created, what data you need to have, basically. So everything need to be understood very thoroughly. Go through these documents, whether you understand or not, that is secondary, okay. Just go through these documents. See, again, apart from first dashboard, they need second dashboard. In second dashboard, there is a regarding time analysis. Okay, then third dashboard. Okay, so different dashboards they need actually. So this is the requirement of your client called Gojek. Fine. Now, so once you understand the project documentation, so we discuss try to understand the data. See, every company has its own data. Fine. So generally, every company will save the data on the cloud, which is called as raw data. Right. It can be your Azure platform, or it can be your GCP, or it can be your any other AWS platform. So generally, they go for Azure or AWS. But however, okay, So we can't completely simulate the real-time things here, okay? Because it's very difficult, to simulate the real-time things. But when you go to your company, this will be the issue. See, they already, you'll be having one administrator guy who already have the data in the client location. They will give the user ID and password where you need to connect to the cloud and extract the data. Okay, so whether you are doing Power BI or Fabric project, okay. So, but however, completely we can't simulate here. But assume that we have the data, we downloaded the data from your cloud, and basically, we have the two files, okay, which we have given in the form of data sets. Okay, so when you get into data sets, see, your client can store the data into different file formats. Okay, they can store the data in a CSV file, they can store the data in the Excel files or JSON files, Part2 file. In general, whenever you go to any companies, you face JSON files. Okay, you face Part2 files, okay, or ORC files. Okay, rare are generally CSV files, but rarely you face this. Okay, but mainly you face these two actually. Fine. So that is the reason when you go to a company interviews also, they focus more on this. More questions will be there on this. How can you convert your JSON file to table and all? Okay. The main disadvantage in your Power BI and Fabric environment is, see, basically you can't develop your data model with the help of these files, right? Okay, you must convert these files to the tables. Okay, so then only you can develop your data models. Otherwise, you can't develop your data models. So first of all, you should be able to understand your data sets. Okay, then load this to your environment, analytical environment. So when I talk about your analytical environment, okay, analytics environment, okay, so we have two environment. One is your Power BI, another is your Fabric. Okay, Fabric. Okay, so the completely it is different. Basically, when you are loading your data sets to your Power BI, this is different. When you are loading your data sets to your Fabric, is different. So in this class, we will parallelly, approach these two environments side by side, so that it will be, you can add in your resume that Power BI project and Fabric project also. For example, you can always tell that you have been what you call a Power BI developer. Now you are updating yourself in your Fabric, and also you got an opportunity to implement the same project in a Fabric also. Fine. So there is migration. Basically, you can tell that they are migrating from Power BI to the Fabric. Always, many companies, they are now migrating from Power BI to Fabric. You can tell that you have been involved in the migration projects. Okay, so which is a very adding advantage for your CV. Fine. Now, so let us understand your data. So basically, so generally, assume that they gave the same files in Excel files or all these things. Basically, CSV files, Excel files will be supported by your Power BI. Your CSV files is supported, but your Fabric, it supports only CSV file. That is the reason why I converted this into CSV files. Okay, table files and trip details. Okay, so let me analyze your data first. Okay, go to your trip details. Okay, just double click on this. See, the data what we are getting is only 1 month data. Fine. So in your company, generally, you have lot of data, but never we take complete data. We take very small data, like 1 month or 2 months data for the analysis purpose. Okay. Once it is done, we can load complete data. So that is not a problem. Fine. So first try to understand this data first. Okay. So I think it is taking some time. Okay. Let me open. Okay, fine. Let me open on your normal system. Okay. So this is your trip details, data set. So if you understand this trip detail data set, so we have different columns. The data set is arranged in the form of different rows and columns. We have a what you call 1 minute. So we have a pickup time, okay, drop off time, passenger count, how many passengers are are picked or dropped at a time. Then what is the total trip distance a passenger has covered actually. Fine. Then pickup location ID. Fine. So what is this pickup location ID? Then what is drop location ID? See, for every pickup location, there is a location ID. It will be identified by location ID. For every drop location, it will be identified by drop location ID. Okay, that is the meaning here. Fine. And also see that there is a duplicates in your pickup location and the drop location. There is a chances of duplicacy, like the rows, the values can be repeated. Why? Because, for example, if if particular, for example, if Jagadish wants to get at, pick it up at 41 location ID. Even I also wants to pick it up at 41 location ID also. So for example, you see here, there is the repeated data here, 137, 137. What is the meaning of this? So Jagadish wants to pick up at 137 and I also wants to pick up at, okay, 137. So obviously there is a, basically, there is a chances that, two persons can have same location ID. So obviously there is a repetition of data here. Similarly, here also, your drop, two persons. Okay. So for example, Krishna can get dropped at a particular location ID. And also Gaurav also can drop at the same location ID. Fine. So there is no rule that, they drop at different locations ID. So that is the reason why. So the location, you can see some duplicacy in your drop location ID also. Okay, so let me check drop location ID is any duplicacy. Okay, so 48, okay, 42, okay, 238, okay. You can find just, there'll be some 100%, there'll be some duplicacy here. 142, 147, okay, 138. Okay, so you can find by yourself 238, 233. Okay, yeah, see here 233, 233. It is repeated here. So one guy wants to drop at 233. Same other candidate also wants to get down at 233 location. That is, two candidates wants to get down at the same location ID. Get down at the same location ID. So that is what is the meaning of, we should understand from your data set. Okay, your pickup location ID, your drop location ID, okay, contains duplicates. So which column generally contains duplicates in a table? Foreign key. So these are foreign keys actually. So whenever there are many foreign keys in a table, what is that kind of table is called as a, that table is called as a fact table. So like this, you should understand, you should be in a position to understand which is a fact table, which is a dimension table in the given data sets. Hope you understood. Ultimately, you are going to convert these files into table in future now. So if that is the case, you should be able to understand which is the facts table, which is the dimension table as a data scientist, right? So that is very important. 50% of your time will goes here only. Okay, it goes understanding your business requirements. It goes understanding your facts tables. It goes understanding your data modeling and all, right? So now, basically, once you understand this complete structure, okay, so it doesn't need any that much domain knowledge. These are all easily, anyone can understand these. What is the search price? Fair amount is this much in terms of dollars. During peak hours, there is a search price, and what are the type of vehicle you are using? There are different types of vehicle, and what is the payment mode you are using? Whether you are paying cash or Gojek. See, in India, there is a very famous called GPay and PhonePe. Okay. Okay. So it is maintained by these people, but in foreign countries they are not like that. Basically, they have every organizations, they have their own payment gateways basically. Fine. So they are using Gojek Pay. Fine. So now you understand this data. Now we have another table. So let me just close it. Fine. Let me just close it. So this is your trip tables, and we came to know that trip tables is nothing but your fact table. Okay. So now let me get into your location table. Okay. So what is this location table? Let me just get into that. So location table is all about your locations details. Okay, we have location ID, where it is, what is that location, okay, and city basically. Fine. So every location, that is your city and location, will be having one location ID. This is a unique ID. This is not repeated actually. Okay, hope you understood, right? The same location ID I'm using in the trip tables. Hope you understood, right? So the location ID here. So location ID here in your locations table, it is used in your trip tables, pickup location ID and drop location ID. The same numbers. Only that here numbers are repeated. There it is unique. That's it. Because the location ID in your location table is a unique, field, it is called as a primary key. It is called as a primary key. Okay, it's called as a primary key. So obviously, whenever you have a primary keys, obviously in your table, I call this location table as a dimension table. I call it the dimension table. So now we understood in your data set what we are given, what is the facts table and what is the dimension table. Okay, so and also see what is the time. Basically, I have only 1 month of data, so completely it is 1 June 2024. So up to 30th June 2024. That is, I have only 1 month of data, not more than that. Okay, see here, 30th June 2024. Okay, so these are the information I got from your company. Fine. Now I am ready to upload to your analytical environment, whether it can be a Power BI, a Tableau, or a Fabric, whatever may be, and we can start your analysis. Okay, before getting into your analysis or creating your dashboards or reports, okay, or provide certain analytical solutions. See, creating some dashboards. What do you mean? What do you mean by main that you are providing certain analytical solutions for the organization? Fine. So it is worthwhile. You should spend some time on your data modeling. So the more you build the data model, the better you are into that actually. So many questions will go on data modeling, DAX, and all these things for your interview purpose. Fine. They will give some simulation based DAX questions. They'll ask you to write DAX formulas, all these things. Many questions they ask only on your data model, because there is nothing inside your reports and all. See, once you know how to create your measures, once you know how to create your data models, it's all about drag and drop technology where you use your dashboards and create interactive dashboards. That's it. Fine. So the real actual works place is there in your data modeling. Fine. Now let me minimize the things. Let me open your Power BI. So this is okay. Fine. This is your Power BI. Okay. So let me create your new instance. Okay. And again, basically, the way how you are doing is different. It all depends on your environment. Okay. See, whichever the company you go and get into the things, but some companies still use Power BI desktop. Some companies directly they go for Fabric environment. Okay. So Power BI they ask you to do basically. So it all depends on your company environment. And also basically, some companies they will what do you call load the data manually. Some companies they will create some data pipelines to extract the data from the cloud. So generally, we upload your data. So let me upload your data. So because we have an Excel file, so click on your import Excel file. So click on your desktop. So go check project. So let me upload your location table and the trip tables. Okay. So okay, only one table it is allowing me. Fine. So trip tables. Load your so let me select these trip tables. Click on. See, before getting into your loading, let me see the data quality. Fine. So click on your transform data. Okay. So the data quality is very important. Why? Because before getting into your projects, you should check the data quality. See that you know see valid can be less than 100%. That is not a problem. But there should not be any errors. There should not be any empty values. Okay, this should be always zero. Fine. So if you are having some values, if your Power BI is showing some values, then you should work on the transformations. But however, it is not showing in real time. It won't be like this. Basically, you will be having certain errors. You will be having certain empty values. Okay. If that is the case, you need to involve in transformations using this Power Query editor, or when you are into Fabric environment, you need to involve in transformations by writing some PySpark coding or Pandas coding and all. Okay. So that and all we are discussed in your Fabric environment. So okay, so not to worry about that. But however, assume that basically already we are seeing that you don't have any irregularities in the data. So we are good to go with your data. So click on close and apply. Fine. So again, I'm telling completely we can't simulate the real time. Okay. So at least 60 to 70% we can simulate here. But you should project yourself as a real time guy there in your interview. Right. That is mandatory. So once you load your data, so then we need to start creating your relationships. Okay, so let me load your one more location table. Again, let me check your quality of the data. Okay, so it is good. The quality is good. We don't have any errors and empty. Click on close and apply. So now we loaded your data. So let me analyze your data. I mean, just look at your data. Yeah, this is your data. Okay. Fine. So trip details, fine. All these things you got, fine. Okay. So now what we should do? See, we know that basically which is a dimension table, which is the fact table. So get into your before developing your dashboards. Okay, so don't get into dashboards straight away. Okay, because a lot of things. This is the last result, completely last part actually. Fine. So before that, we need to spend more time on your model view. 60% of your work will goes, in developing your data models. Okay. Okay. So first of all, we already concluded that which is the fact table, which is the dimension table. So basically, your trip details is a it's a fact table, and location table is a dimension table. Okay. Now, if there is a case, so if you want to create any analytical solution or create any reports or dashboards, first of all, you should have a data model, right? See, data model is all about interconnection between different tables, right? So if you have an interconnection between different tables, okay, facts tables or dimension tables, then only you can, with the help of this, you can able to visualize your data, create certain reports, okay, or dashboards. Yes or no, right? So otherwise, it's highly impossible. You can't provide analytical solutions. Even your Power BI or a Fabric will not allow you to create that reports. Fine. So it is our duty to involve certain time. We need to spend certain time in developing your robust data model. Now, how to create your data model? By relating your tables, right? So how can we relate it to your tables unless or until we have certain common columns? Now, what is the common columns as we discussed? See, we have location ID in your location table, and we have two location IDs in your what do you call the trip table. One is your pickup location ID, another is your drop location ID. Okay, these two location ID depends upon this location ID only. Whatever the location ID here you have, these location IDs are coming from this location ID only. Okay, so it is like your primary key, which is a unique key, and these two are foreign keys. So we can establish a relationship between the location ID in your location table and these two location IDs in your trip table to form a very simple data model. Okay, so now, so let us, generally, you can click on manage relationships here. Okay, so to create certain relationships, click on new relationship. Okay, now I want to relate your locations table, which is a dimension table, to the trip tables. It's a fact table. So first, let us give a preference for your pickup location. Select your location ID in your location table. Select your pickup location ID in your drop table. I mean pickup table, trip table. So that basically now here automatically it is detecting the relationship. Okay, one to many, because we have this is the primary key. You have only one kind of location ID. Okay, it's a unique location ID, and this is the foreign key basically. It is obviously many locations ID are repeated. You may have many locations IDs, right? If for example you take location ID 2, here 2 will be repeated n number of times because n number of people will be dropping at that location ID, right? So that is the reason why the relation is one to many, one to many. So Power BI is a very intelligent tool. It is taking that. Otherwise, you must be able to understand. Sometimes Power BI will not give a particular relationship. You should be able to understand whether it is a correct or not. Okay, it is a correct. Okay, just click on save. Click on save. Now, okay, now the relation has been established. Click on close. Okay. Now see the relation is from your table location table to the trip table basically. Fine. So what is the direction? You should be able to understand the direction is from table location table to the trip table. That is, you are getting the location ID from this table and utilizing in this table actually. That is the meaning of this arrow bar. Okay. So now basically, let me again what you call click on your manage relationships table. Let me click on new relationships. Relate your location table to the trip details. Click on location ID and click on drop location ID because we need to relate your drop location ID also. Again, it is a one to many only. Okay, one to many only. Now see, basically there's an option called, do you want to make this as active relationship? Why? Because whenever, for example, I don't want to make this, let it be, don't check this. Okay, okay, just click on save. Now when you click on save, now see here there are two relationships between what do you call it, there are two relationships. Okay, so one relationship is between location ID and the pickup location ID. Another relationship is from the location ID to the drop location ID. There are two relationships in your Power BI. Whenever you are maintaining two relationships, okay, so from the same table, okay, then the one issue is only one relation will be active at a time. Now see here, Okay, because you have created this relationship in the first time, when the first relationship is being created here for the pickup location ID. So this this relation is an active relation, and other relationship is an inactive relation. So only one relation will be active at a time. Okay, so let me click on close. Now see here, it is very clear that the relationship between your location ID and the pickup location ID is an active. Okay, it is shown by the thick line, and the relationship between your location ID and drop location it is inactive. It is shown with the dotted line. Hope you understood, right? So what is the rule here? Only one relation will be active at a time. You can't have more than one as an active actually. Suppose if you want to make it as active, for example, if you want to make the second relation as active, okay, so first of all make this as inactive. Okay, switch status to inactive, then make this as second relation as active. Okay, now click on close. Now see here, it is vice versa. Now this is dotted line, this is thick line. Hope you understood, right? So this is the active relations and inactive relations. Okay, suppose if the relation is, if you want to write some DAX formulas and all with help of these relations, the relations must be active, otherwise it won't you can't write the DAX formulas, right? So let me just make it as inactive. Let us give preference for your pickup application first. Okay, click on close. Fine. Okay, these are we discussed the previous class in a nutshell, but again, we have many. Let us revise the things, so that it will be very consolidated at a time. Now, so do we have only two tables only? So only two tables we have in your what you called as per the given data, we have only two tables. Okay, and we created a local. There is no any other possibility of relating these two tables. Now, is there any necessity for the date table that you should understand? See, for every organization, for every project, by default, okay, it is always better to have one date table. Why? Because based on your requirements. See, for example, when you go to your project documentation, okay, there are certain with respect to certain date, for example, which needs to be analyzed with respect to date columns. For example, you take trip type. Okay, whether trip type basically whether it's a day shift or night shift. So these are all day or night related to the date and time functions, right? Okay, so basically any measures if you are want to visualize with respect to date related columns, then you must have date table. Okay, so because sometimes your companies they won't give the proper data for you, right? Especially dates. So at that time, this will be very helpful for you. If you understand, if you remember, we discussed about how to create your calculated table called date. Okay, the same thing here also will implement. Okay, so let us create one date calculated table here, so that it will be very useful in your project whenever you want to analyze certain measure with respect to date related what you call columns. At that time, this date calculated table will be very useful. Fine. So how to create your date calculated table? So you need to basically click on your what you call so new table. Click on new table. Fine. So let me create your new table. Fine. So just let me create your uh, basically I can create one date calculated table. Fine. So now problem is here. So when I just let me go to your okay date table. Okay, so now when I use your date table, okay, so I can go in two ways. So generic, I can go. Let me click on your table view. Okay, yeah. So I can go in two ways. Okay, I can use your calendar auto. Okay, so to populate your system defined date. See, when I use your calendar auto, see here I'm getting around almost I'm getting 1 year ka dates, right? So first Jan 2024 to okay 31st December 2024. But do we need 1 year ka data? No need, right? Because if you see your trip details, you have only 1 month of data, right? So now how to handle this situation? See, there is nothing wrong, if you take data, automatic, like calendar auto, there is nothing wrong. Still, you can do these things. You can use it, okay? Automatically, your Power BI, it will create a hierarchy, okay, date hierarchy for your date tables. You can try to uh, relate your measures with respect to different hierarchy levels. Okay, it's always possible. There's nothing wrong in that, but companies will not expect like this. Basically, they will they will expect you to work only with the data what they have given actually. Fine. If that is the case, I need the date table only with this data. So where is the data date where is the data related to data have pickup time or drop off time? So let me take the pickup time. If you see the pickup time, we have the dates and time format basically, right? So I need to extract only the dates here first of all. Okay, I need only dates. Okay, so let me take only dates. I don't want time here. For this, I'll be create one calculated column. So select your trip tables. Okay, click on new column. Okay, so just you can rename it as a pickup date, because I don't have pickup date here. I'm creating only pickup date where I have only dates. Okay, so pickup date. Okay, right. So how can I get a pickup date? That is, I need to extract only date from this pickup time. So already I have a date and time in your pickup time column, but I need only the date. So let me use your date function. Okay, so this is the syntax basically, what we can use for your date function. So I'll use year of. So basically start it basically in your trip table. Okay, uh, trip. Okay, in your trip details. So where is trip details? I need to get the pickup time. Okay, just yeah, pickup time. That's it. Okay, so I won't select any format here. Okay, just close this comma. Okay, then basically what is this? I need year actually. 1 minute. Just something is wrong here. Year. Then I need pickup time in your trip details table. So just select your trip details, trip time, pickup time. Done. Okay. So close it and comma. Then month. Okay. So again in the trip details table, I need your pickup time. That's it. Comma. Again, I need day. In the day, I need trip details in the pickup time again. So where is my pickup time? Yeah, close. That's it. Okay, just click on commit. So now see here, basically you got a date, pickup date column, calculated column only with the dates. But however, because there is a time related data here that is getting populated as a 0000. Fine. So let me change the format here. Okay, click on this format. So let me get into this format. I need only date here. So I'll take this format. DDMMYYY. Where is this format? I need I have DDMMYY. Yeah, this is the format. DDMMYYYY. Okay, done. Okay. So now see here I have the dates, pickup dates only with the dates. Okay, but I'll repeat it, like 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 like this, It will be like that, no problem. But I have only dates here, right? So I created one this is an application of your calculated column in your real time. They may ask you in your project, basically, whenever you go to the interview, they will ask you to write like this DAX queries, demonstrate like this. Very simple. They will ask you your involvement, how much you are. See, one thing you should understand, they will ask you your involvement, they will test your confidence. Okay. How much confidence you are demonstrating the project. They will ask you to share your screen and, basically, they will ask you to basically demonstrate the things, right? Before the interviewer. At that time, the level of confidence is very important. These is not my words. These are the your student words only who are attending interviews on your Power BI Fabric, and some students got selected in some companies also. Fine. Samir was telling me they got selected in some CalSoft or some other companies, MNC companies. Okay. Uh, so basically, as per their conversations, they are telling that they will ask you to share the screen and explain the project. You know, flow or some kind of data. They're asking you to take the data, and basically they wants to look your confidence, check your confidence, how much you are confident in doing the things. Fine, that is the main objective of the interviewer. Fine, and also depends on the companies. Some companies will be very fast. Some companies will be asking very in depth. Actually, some companies will ask very one or two questions and they will ask you to select. Right, it depends on your time also. Fine, but from your side, you should be very confident. How much you should not fear actually. Okay, you should be in a bold way to explain to the interviewer in a very decent manner, so that he'll be able to understand that you know the concept. Fine, and you know the real time. So now, so before, let me save this project. Okay, so go check project. You can't see. So what I'll do, I'll download this, I'll upload your drive. Okay, so that when you double click, it will open in your Power BI system. Okay, so now let me create your calculated column. So date is already created. I don't want a system defined date. Let me use my predefined. So let me use your calendar. Okay, so for this, I'll use a calendar. So I need start date, end date. See, basically, I want unique dates here. Okay, see now here, these are all unique dates actually. 1st January 2024, 2nd January 2024. No date is repeated. But if you see pickup date here, pickup date. Okay, pickup date basically, like very sorry, yeah, 1 minute. So if you see your pickup date, okay, pickup date is repeated actually. It's a foreign key actually. But date, I need a primary key basically. So how can I do that? So basically, just let me use a calendar. So I use a maximum function. Okay, click on max. So maximum of, I need what you call, I will use this pickup date, okay, column in this maximum functions. So where it is pickup date, it is inside your trip details. Okay, so trip details, okay, pickup date. That's it. Okay, fine. Click on comma. Then I need minimum function. Okay, then basically go for your again trip details, pickup date. So I need maximum date and minimum date, so that you will create a date table. Okay, okay, so with the maximum and minimum dates. What is this? Where is a the start date in the calendar cannot be lesser than okay, so I think minimum and maximum we should use. Let me just okay, let me check now. Yeah. So now see here, I'm able to create one calculated date table with a 1 month data. So now see here, I got this, January, 1st June 2024, 2nd June 2024. So like that, 31st, 30th June 2024. This is the requirement I have actually. This is my main requirement. I need only 1 month ka data, not every year ka data, right? So, and also I need June month ka, because I need to analyze my measures with respect to date parameters related to the June month only. Now, let me format this to my what you call the DDMM YYY format. Fine. Yeah, I'm done. So this is your date calculated table. Very, very important. Okay. Now click on save. Go to your data model. Go to your data model. Okay. So now, so basically, like date is a dimension table. So because see, every date here. Okay, now go to your data model, sorry, table view, click on your date. So every date is a unique here. Okay, it's not repeated. So that is a primary key. Okay, it is dimension table. So so go to your data model. Now, how can I relate your date table with your trip tables? Okay, we have a pickup date, right? So common, basically these two are common. So basically I have what you call primary key here, and your pickup date is your foreign key here. Yes or no, right? So from where you are getting these dates, you are getting from date table. This is the direction of our mark. Okay, and this is the relationship. So let me relate these two. Let me drag and drop. So always you do not use this manage relationships. So let me just click on, just select your date and drag and drop to the date table. Okay. So now see here again, it's a one-to-many relationships. Automatically selected one-to-many relationships. Click on save. You have only one relationship, so it is always active. If you have only one relationship, it will be active. If you have more than two relationships, from the same column, obviously one relationship will be active, another relationship will be inactive. Fine. So now see here, this is nothing but your fact table, sorry, dimension table. This is nothing but your dimension table. This is nothing but your fact table. Now you related your dimension tables and facts tables to form data model, which is nothing but your star schema, which is nothing but your star schema. So in your companies, when you go to your real-time companies, okay, they may expect you to have some knowledge on snowflake schema also. Okay, so take it as assignment. What is this snowflake? Try to spend some time. Okay, see, everything you can't study in your classes. Fine. uh, See, for example, the requirements will come, like, they will ask you, for example, if you get a requirement from KPMG is a, it's a very famous company for RPA, robotic process automation. So the HR of KPMG, they will be asking you, do you know robotic process automation? So generally, you may know or you may not know. Fine. So basically, if you are from RPA background, then you would have known. But basically, like they expect, they won't expect that you should be an expert in RPA. They expect whether you have some knowledge on RPA or not. So generally, whenever you get a job description for any company, first of all, you should understand the job description, what they are asking, okay, what they are expecting. Okay, so 99 expectations will be, they will be relating your data science with the previous domains. So what is the previous domain in KPMG? RPA. Okay, it is also a technology which is used to automate the process, robotic process automation. Now data science is dominating RPA. So completely they are dominating generative AI, all these are dominating RPAs. So they want the people who have knowledge on RPA plus data scientists. There is nothing wrong in asking, do you know RPA? So no one knows RPA, but when you get a job description, when you apply to the company, okay, you need to put that you have knowledge on RPA bit, implementation knowledge. Then you need to update that in your resume and send to that HR. Then only it gets shortlisted. Otherwise, they won't shortlist you. Once you get shortlisted, you should open your what you call Google or ChatGPT or YouTube. Study something about RPA and how it is related to the data science. There is nothing wrong. That is, see, you need to prepare interviews at the JD levels. Not like every JD will not be same. Hope you understood, right? One JD will be different from other JD. Okay. See, for example, you take your one student called Madhuri. She already faced around 50 plus interviews only on Fabric and Power BI. Okay. So she's to get different JDs. Everything she is to discuss with me. Fine. So basically, obviously, for every JD, your resume should be restructured. For every JD, your resume should be, you should prepare certain skills. See, some people will come with basically, what do you call, do you have a knowledge on Snowflake? Okay, you should not tell no. You should tell yes. Okay, so, and you need to prepare it accordingly. Do you have a knowledge on Power Apps? Okay, they will ask, did you work on Power Apps? You should not tell no. I work on, see, Power Apps is related to your Power BI, basically, generally, but it is not a Power BI, basically. Power Apps developer is different. But in a real-time project, all these technologies are used in the project. That is the reason why basically they will ask you. At that time, you should be able to understand, okay, go to your YouTube, understand what is Power Apps. Try to spend some, you have a free time, right? Spend some time, okay, on Power Apps. What is Power Automate? Okay. So generally, I'll tell you for your Power BI, if you are going as a Power BI, data scientist, generally Power Apps and Power Automate are mandatory to mention in your skills. So just you should have a knowledge in you. Okay, open your YouTube or open your Google or whatever. Try to understand your Power Apps. What is your Power Apps? Try to finish some courses basically, right? These are mandatory. You should tell that, see, I'm not a Power Apps developer. I'm a Power BI developer basically. I'm a Fabric developer, but I do have exposure on Power Apps because they were using some Power Apps projects in our projects. That is the reason why I do have exposure. But my exposure is completely into Power BI and Fabric. Like this, you should talk. Then they will start considering your CV. Only on Power BI, never you will get your calls. Okay. So now this is how basically sometimes they'll ask you to Snowflake explore. Okay, so however when time permits I will get into things, because if you go on telling the classes now, it will be going or you won't get a job. Fine. So explore what is Snowflake. Fine. So then try to what you call understand what is Snowflake. You can tell that, see, I never get an opportunity to develop a Snowflake model, but I do have an exposure. This is very important. You should mention in your CV that you have an exposure. Okay, so now this is your data models what you created. Now from this, once you create your data model, then you need to get into your what you called the requirement. What is the requirement? Okay, this is your requirement. Okay, project requirement. So before getting your dashboard, understand this requirement. First of all, you should create okay, your data models is all about, see, as soon as you create your data models, relate your tables, your work is not finished. You need to create a number of measures. You need to create a number of calculated columns. 99% measures are very important. You need to identify the measures in your dashboard. See, for example, if you open your what you call project documentation, these are all the measures: the total bookings, total book value, average book value. These are all the measures actually. Fine. First of all, you should create these measures by using DAX formulas. Okay, so then you need to again identify any other measures are there. Okay, then you need to come for the visualizations. You should display these measures in your dashboard or any other reports, whatever way, based on your requirement. Hope you understood, right? This is how, this is nothing but your project flow. So how to get into the step-by-step project flow. So today we have discussed all these things. See, now same thing till now, whatever you did, you can do in your Fabric environment also. Okay, see, in your Fabric environment, so let me introduce very fastly. Okay, so open your Fabric environment. Okay, I think already some students attended my Fabric classes regarding the same, but there was very less students at that time. So again, open your app.microsoft fabric dot, okay, sign in. So opening your Fabric environment, the same thing. How can you do that? So same process. How can you develop your data model on your Fabric environment? Okay, process is very simple. So see, as soon as you get your data from your client location, you should load into your lake house. Okay, you need to create your lake house, right? So you should know how to create your lake house. The same thing you can mention your resume also. I created a lake house, okay, and I uploaded a files, or I connected your, basically if they store the data in your Azure, okay. Suppose if the students, I think some students they didn't finish about ADF classes. Some students finished about ADF classes here. So in ADF concept, Azure Data Factory concept, we create data pipeline, okay, to connect your cloud, right? So we have files F1, F2 here, okay. We create certain data pipeline, ADF pipeline, to connect your cloud and load this data into your lakehouse. So all this you can mention in your CV. I created ADF, I loaded the data, okay. So, but however, as of now, assume that you don't know about ADF. Manually, we can do that, and we can create your what you call lakehouse. So get into your workspace. Okay. So I think we created in the previous class Fabric, Power BI, Gojek trip analysis project. So basically, a workspace will be created for one particular project here. So for Gojek project, I created one workspace. Just click on this workspace. Okay. So already we created some lake houses here. See here, Gojek trip analysis lake house. Okay. Already we created it. So just you can also create. So whenever you're creating a workspace, create by your name. See, Fabric, Power BI, Gojek project analysis. Okay. So underscore your name. For example, Krishna. For example, Jagadish, Gaurav. Okay. So that is your name project actually. So create one lake house. Okay. Already we have created. See here, I created one lake house. So when you get into this lake house, you know how to create your lake house, right? You finish your fabric classes. So when you get your lake house, okay. So basically, I uploaded the details, okay, files. What I uploaded, CSV files, script details, and location tables. Where you can find this, you can find in your drive actually. So go to your drive. So there is one what you call CSV file. See here, the CSV file. Just download this, upload to your lake house. Upload to your lake house. Okay. So now once you upload your lake house, you know how to what do you call it? See, Lakehouse will not support your Excel file, okay, but it support your CSV file. You know how to convert your CSV files to your tables. Just click on this, convert to tables. Already I converted these two to tables here. Okay, location table is there, trip table is there, right? Now, once you are done with your tables, now you need to get into your data models, right? So you need to create your data models. So what we did basically, go to your, how can you create your data models? Okay, you can switch to the SQL endpoint analytics, get into your SQL endpoint analytics. You know what is SQL endpoint analytics of your lakehouse. Now, basically, you have a schemas, all these things. Okay. So basically, you can click on model layouts. Click on model layouts to see the data models actually. Fine. So, where you have many things, you can manage your what you call, go to reporting, click on your manage default semantic models. Okay. So you can select only the tables what you need. I need only these two tables. Click on confirm. Okay. So now see here, basically, once you select only these two tables, you will be getting here. Okay. So why you are not able to? It's 1 minute. Select your DB. Okay. Okay. Click on confirm. There's some issue here. So I'm not able to manage things. Okay, fine, no problem. Fine. So these are all the things what you already mentioned here, right? Already you studied these things. Okay. So manage layouts and all, manage your data models. So I don't want all these tables. I need your location table only. So let it be. I need your trip tables. Okay, these two tables only. But thing is here we have some problem here. Okay. So because it is not able to what do you call it should not show this basically like a red mark. Okay, so if it is showing some red mark, what happens? Let me create certain relationships. Okay, so just relationship between your location ID and what you call pickup location ID. Okay, see here the data is not getting loaded actually. PV is not available. Okay, so and even it is not it is showing in different one to many. We can't save. Okay, yeah, it is creating the relationship however. So basically again I can create another relationship with your drop location ID. Okay, the only the data preview is not available. Okay, so click on one to many. Fine, now see here again something problem is there. Okay, so why? Because there is some issue in your data. Fine, whenever the loading, whenever your fabric you loaded the data to your fabric, there is some issue. That is the reason why it is not loading. So what we can do here, instead of creating a data model by using the default semantic model, what we can create our, go to your reporting, create your new semantic model. So when you click on your new semantic model, okay, now it will ask you to enter your so Gojek semantic model. Okay, Gojek semantic model. Okay, so where you want to select, where you want to store the semantic model in your fabric Gojek project. So I need these tables only, location tables and trip tables. Okay, click on confirm. So I'm creating a new semantic model actually. I'm not using a default semantic model. Fine. So now it will allows me basically to create any relationships, to create your data models, all the things on your fabric environment. Fine. All these things we have discussed in your previous fabric classes, if you remember. But now, with respect to project view, we are discussing that's it. There is nothing difference in that actually. And you can mention that all you have did in your project. You can mention in your CV that you have what you call involved in this fabric environment in real time projects. Yeah. Now see here, basically you are not able to get that red mark here, right? So when you put a cursor here, all the data you are able to get. Okay. Now let me just relate your data. Okay. Fine. So just click on city location ID. Okay. So is drag and drop just to pick up location ID. Okay. So yeah, again, see here exactly you are able to get this one-to-many relationship. Click on save. Okay. Now again, location ID is to the drop location ID. Again, see one-to-many. Automatically, it should develop like this one-to-many relationships. Click on save. Now you are able to see the same. How you are able to do in Power BI, the same thing you are able to do here also. Hope you understood, right? Okay. So now you can create your. Now what you do? Take it as assignment. Okay. So basically, create one date table. Okay, calculator table. How can you create a calculator table? Click on new table. Click on new table. Before creating what you call calculator table, first of all, what you should do? You should create your pickup date in your trip tables. Okay, so you have something called as calculation group here. You can use this calculation group to create your pickup date. Then create your calculator table. Okay, then basically relate that date table with your trip details table to form a data model on your fabric environment. So take it as assignment and come for tomorrow. Fine. So this is how we need to do your fabric projects. Fine. The same thing we do in your fabric projects. Very simple. Only that the environment will be changed here. Okay. We won't use lake house there in your Power BI. Here you are creating lake house and we are doing everything on your lake house. But still, we won't do this data modeling on your lake house. Where we'll do in your warehouse actually. Oh, hope you understood, right? We create your warehouse, then we do that in your warehouse. Finally, we'll use Power BI for your analytical purpose. Okay, because some students they didn't finish the fabric here because they don't know what is warehouse and all. That I will explain afterwards. Yeah. Any questions till now here? So in this class today we understood how can we understood your project requirements, project documentations, right? Data involved, data sets involved. Then we involved in data modeling. We understood what is facts, what is dimensions, how to create your relationships. Then basically, we created certain date tables and also we established a relationship between your facts tables and dimension tables to create your data models in both on your fabric environment and Power BI environment. And basically now we are ready to go to get into the next level of your project. Okay, so tomorrow we'll try to understand different measures requirements. We'll try to create measures first of all. Okay, whatever measures are there in your dashboard, the first dashboard we'll create it up. Okay, then we'll start working on your dashboard. Tomorrow we'll try to complete your dashboard one. Okay, this is your dashboard one. As per your requirement, we'll try to complete your dashboard one. Okay, fine. So like that we'll try to finish your project. The same thing again you can do in your fabric environment also. Fine, I'll give assignment in your fabric environment. In your fabric environment, I'm restricting to only lake house because some students they don't know what is warehouse. Some students they don't know what is ADF and all. Okay, so so for them, once I finish your fabric, I will again take some classes. But as of now, I'm restricted to the lake house. Fine. So if possible, I'll also because unless or until you don't know what is ADF, you can't do anything. Yeah, you don't know what is warehouse, you can't do anything. Yeah. So till that, we can restrict to the lake house. We load the data to the lake house. We create some models. There itself, we create the reports. Yeah. Any queries, guys? Till now, any questions? So mostly we'll try to finish this project this week. Project we'll try to finish within Sunday, right? So that you can prepare your description and roles and responsibilities. You can prepare by your own roles and responsibilities, but however, I can also give for you. You can put in your project. So whenever you're putting your project, you will put two projects. One is your Power BI, one is your Fabric, like migration projects. You did logistic projects on Power BI initially, maybe 1 year back. Now you are very active on your Fabric migration project. You're trying to migrate because Power BI new projects are very less in your industry. Okay, all migration projects are made so that even companies will not get some doubt on you. Otherwise, they'll get a doubt on you. Any questions?
No, no from my side.
Fine, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow at same time. Okay, 7:15. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I
thank
will
you.
upload the session. So one minute. Uh, so what I'll do, I will just 1 minute. So who are there with us? Jagadish. So please check your email IDs. I have shared you the what you call recorded session link. Okay. Also, please check your chat windows. Please check your chat windows. I'll be sharing. So this is your drive link for your projects. All projects will be uploaded here. So let me have some two more projects so that will be. I'll take some two more domains. Okay, and let us conclude your Power BI and Fabric projects. And we'll prepare your resume and we'll go ahead. Okay, fine. So mostly, like regarding your resume preparation, Mr. Aniket will come. Okay, Aniket and some other people, they're experts in doing the things because I don't have many works. Okay, they will prepare your resume. They'll prepare your LinkedIn profile. Okay, they'll prepare your you know people are getting, people are telling they are getting many calls because these Apshala, they have tie with Naukari monsters. They have tie up with recruitment organizations and startups. So basically 90% they are getting very good results from Naukari itself. Okay, so they will build a Naukari profile and maybe they have their some relations with Naukari or Apshala. They'll make you to get many calls. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. So see you tomorrow. All the best. Please go through the recording sessions and we will upload the same. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.